C418 is the most famous musical artist in human history. Yeah, the Minecraft guy, his music has been heard more times than Michael Jackson's Thriller. Boop, put him right up there. He is far and away the most popular musical artist to ever live. In terms of sheer volume, there isn't a musician on the planet Earth who can compete with the sheer amount of times this man's music has been heard. And today, I'm going to prove it. But first, we need to find our competition. Who can we compare C418's numbers to in order to figure out if he's truly the most famous musical artist of all time? According to Math, the most widely listened to artists on streaming websites is Drake, massing a little over 200 billion total streams between YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Music. Combine these with his album sales, and it's safe to say that he would be widely regarded as the most popular artist walking the planet, which is made even more impressive because his music is ungodly awful. I'd rather rub a cheese grater on my ears than consume all of the Iceman trilogy in one sitting. But it looks like I won't have to, because in 2010, a random German guy was commissioned by a random Swedish developer to make an indie game soundtrack, and now he's here to take Drake's cardboard crown off of his head. Let me explain how C418 is the most listened to artist in human history, making him even more popular than Drake. This video is one of those crackpot shower thought questions I wanted to try and answer. With as famous as Minecraft is as a game, being the highest selling video game of all time, does that also make the composer of the majority of its soundtrack the most listened to musician ever? That's the question I'm going to answer. First, we have to set a benchmark. If we count one play as each time someone hears a song, how many plays would C418 have to have in order to become the most widely listened to artist in human history? In order to figure this out, we have to set a number to beat. As I mentioned earlier, Drake is the most widely streamed artist with around 200 billion recorded streams. But obviously, there was a time not too long ago where people listened to Drake on these antiquated devices known as CDs. So how do we determine how many plays Drake got from CD sales? Well, like with much of this video, the best we can do is estimate. But in the effort of being fair, I do want to give Drake as much of an advantage as possible. So we'll estimate that every single physical album sale equates to an average of 2 full listens of the album. This means that we will take the amount of songs in the discography for Drake, multiply that by 2, and then multiply that by the amount of pure album sales to get an approximate amount of plays from CD sales. Given that he has 337 songs in his discography, yes, really, and he sold about 42 million in pure physical album sales, that means we can add about 28 billion to his total. This means that Drake has been listened to approximately 228 billion times. This is not going to be easy. Now I know that there are other factors to consider in Drake's score, such as times played on the radio, concerts, and plays on YouTube through things like reactions.
My niece on the beach shebang. All of my ops, they're dead.
But given that there's almost no way to really estimate the former, and the latter would require me to find every single concert he has ever performed and the exact amount of attendees, I'm just gonna call it here. I've already likely overestimated the amount of total plays that Drake actually has, so this figure is going to be our approximate benchmark that we'll be sticking to. Besides, most of his streams are probably botted anyway. Oh, and one more thing, if you're at home screaming at your monitor or screen that another artist should be included in Drake's place, don't worry, we'll get to that later in the video. In order for C418 to even be considered as the most widely listened to artist of all time, he needs to have an estimated play count of over 228 billion. For our purposes, a play of C418's music is any time a song made by him is played during Minecraft's base gameplay. A simple Google search will tell you that a song in Minecraft plays about once every 20 minutes, or an average of 3 times an hour. This means that if you play Minecraft for 10 hours, you've added 30 plays to C418's count. However, there's a bunch of variables that may interfere with the amount of time you've heard C418 specifically, such as playing music discs made by other people, having the game paused, playing with no volume, or being in the nether. That said, since there's no way for me to determine how often each player has spent doing these things, and this is already a rather silly experiment, we're just going to say that for every hour someone plays Minecraft, they've heard C418 about 3 times. Now that that's been established, let's get to the hard part of the experiment. How many hours have people spent playing Minecraft since 2010? This question could be a whole video on its own, and there's certainly no way to get a definite, certain answer to the question. But I think I've found a solid way to get an estimate. First, we need to know the average amount of time people spend playing Minecraft every day. For this, we will need to visit Minecraft China. According to this website, Minecraft China's players average approximately 5 hours per person per day. Holy fuck! This information was all revealed in a presser that happened in 2019, 7 years ago. And at that time, Chinese players had played approximately 146 million days of Minecraft, which at the time, with 300 million players, would have equated to about 5 hours a day. That being said, 5 hours a day on average for every player seems a tad excessive to me. People who play video games are usually cited as playing about 1 to 2 hours per day, and most surveys of Minecraft players specifically seem to indicate that they're on the upper end of that statistic. So we're going to say that every Minecraft player plays an average of about 2 hours a day. Keep this in the back of your mind though, it will come back later. If you're a galaxy brain intellectual, then you've already put together that 2 hours a day, with 3 songs each hour, means that the average Minecraft player listens to C418 6 times every day. Now that might not sound like a lot, but believe it or not, that 6 times a day is about to get turned into billions in just a second. Now that we've figured out how many times the average Minecrafter hears C418 every day, we now have to find out how many people play Minecraft every day. The number we're looking for is the DAU, or the Daily Active User count, which represents the amount of individual Minecraft accounts that log in every day. Luckily for us, Minecraft has a very well publicized figure for their DAU. A ton of unrelated websites all cite a figure of 31.96 million daily active users. That's about 10% of Minecraft accounts in circulation logging on every single day. And that's not just in 2025, mind you, where the average is likely much higher. This is 31.96 million on average since 2018, where this information was first made available by Mojang, presumably due to the release of Bedrock Edition a few months earlier, making player counts much easier to track. A quick note before we go any further, this 31.96 million number is actually probably an underestimate, as it doesn't take into account a variety of different factors. It doesn't include anyone playing on legacy console editions of the game, such as the PS3 or Xbox 360 versions, or the entirety of Minecraft China. These statistics also don't go past 2018, meaning that the period of Minecraft's history from 2009 to 2017 is being completely unaccounted for. This means that our in total could actually be much higher, but like I said, I do want to give BBL Jersey the absolute best shot at beating C418, so we're going to take a very conservative estimate. But with that all out of the way, we finally have all the necessary figures and statistics to figure out if C418 is actually the most popular, widely listened to musician to ever live. The period between 2025 and 2018 is 7 years. 7 years is 2,555 days. Multiply that by 2 hours per day, then 3 songs per hour, giving us 15,330. Multiplying that by our DAU of 31.96 million gives us our final number. The approximate amount of times that people have heard a song in Minecraft from C418 is 489,946,800,000. This makes C418, purely based on the amount of times his songs have been listened to, over twice as popular as Drake. In fact, this number is so high that it puts him completely out of reach for anyone to catch him. Here, I'll prove it. Here's a chart of 5 artists one might put up there with Drake, and their approximated play count for each of their discographies. These were all calculated the exact same way, and yet no one, not even prolific acts like the Beatles or Michael Jackson, come remotely close to C418 in terms of estimated listens. And you know the craziest part? I didn't even add C418's streaming numbers to his insane total, meaning you could actually stack another 4 to 5 billion on top of that. And that's not even including the countless amount of times C418's music has been used in YouTube videos, Twitch streams, the Minecraft movie, as well as the period of time before 2018, which, I will remind you, has gone completely unaccounted for in this data. And then, the secret I've been hiding from you all. The final piece of undeniable proof that C418 has been listened to more than every single musician in human history. Let's take another look at China. For those who don't know, China has a completely separate version of Minecraft that's managed by NetEase, a version that's completely free to play, and is therefore way more accessible than the version of the game that we are all used to. This means that there is a massive player base playing the game in China, one that's gone completely unaccounted for in Mojang's release statistics. Remember this article from earlier? The one that said Minecraft China's players have played the game for, on average, 5 hours a day? That same article stated that Minecraft China's player base, in just 2 years, accumulated 400,000 years of gameplay. I'm sure you can see where I'm going with this. Minecraft China was released in August of 2017, almost 9 whole years ago. Let's say that the article is correct, and that 300 million players played about 400,000 years worth of Minecraft every 2 years in real time. This would mean that, as of now, 1.8 million years worth of Minecraft China has been played. Keep in mind that number is almost certainly higher in reality, as the player count of Minecraft China has certainly increased far past 300 million since this article was written. But we're gonna lowball it since we don't have the exact playtime statistics for these recent years. There's 8,760 hours in a year. If each one of those hours, C418 was heard the average of 3 times, then that would mean, in Minecraft China alone, C418 has been listened to approximately 47.3 billion times. This brings our grand total even further into the stratosphere, all the way to our final number. C418 has been listened to over 542 billion times, making him far and away, undisputed, the most listened to, famous, and popular musical artist in all of human history. And the best part is, he could never have known that he would reach this echelon of musician when he was first making the Minecraft soundtrack. In a Reddit AMA from 7 years ago, C418 would state that he met Notch in some random IRC chat room in the older days of the internet. From there, they would share work off and on, until eventually, Notch commissioned him to make the Minecraft soundtrack. From that point on, it was history. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say that the soundtrack is integral to much of Minecraft's appeal. There's so much soul poured into each of the 2 albums C418 produced for the game, so much effort to make songs that perfectly fit the vibe of Minecraft. He didn't have to try this hard. He could have seen it as just another job, some busy work that he could do to help a friend he knew. But out of a pride and love for his work, he decided to do more than that. And through his time and dedication, he transformed what some would see as mere busy work into something that would be heard over 500 billion times. And you know, I think that's pretty neat. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed.